Hello, we are Team GeekSoc and we have built a tool called Digital Dowsing Rod. And Digital Dowsing Rod is basically a tool that is built to present to the user their options for renewable energy sources based on their location.
So this tool does a lot of data processing, and it does stuff with a lot of different data sets, but we wanted to present all of it boiled down into a really simplistic, easy to understand view for the user. So they have an ease of use with the program, and they don't have to themselves boil down all the data to see the simple conclusions. So this is the website that we built. You can see we have a nice standard landing page. You can dump anything on it that you want. We have some text. This is what so the landing page. All right, click on go. So you start off, you enter in your postcode, and we're going to see where Peter lives now. And the open survey map finds it. And then you click on go, because you're just confirming that that's the house, and this can have other things happen with further development. And then you can choose which sources that we have information on do you want to look at. You enter in the details asked for. We try to ask for as few details as possible. And then you are presented with a search screen. And it presents, at the moment, very basic averages for what you can expect for your area from your postcode, and the amount of energy that you might be able to generate yourself, the amount of money that you might be able to save on your bill, and on the right-hand side you have the average cost for an energy unit, where you are, and the average yearly use of energy for a typical meter in that ward. So we see this tool being used as a first step for people in their journey down the use of renewables. So they can really quickly just say, oh, I might be interested in renewables. What's the deal about it? What can I save? And they just really quickly enter in their postcode, enter in possibly the size of their roof or the height of their building, and they can see immediately good figures of what they could expect, because we're not trying to push it to the extremes of what they might possibly be able to get. We're looking at the averages, so there's a really good chance that they can get those values. We also see it as an awareness tool for raising issues such as how much power is being used in the area, how much power they themselves are using, and other things in further development such as how much CO2 they might save or how much CO2 they themselves are using. Also, it's a very portable and flexible program, so it can be integrated into a lot of different places and used in a lot of different places. So we use a bunch of data sets. From Open Glasgow, we use a lot of the geography data sets, especially for the postcode to translation to data zones to the intermediate geography codes, which helped inform lots of the energy usage. We used estimated electricity consumption from the DECC data sets. And then we also pulled solar data from the helioclimb data sets and wind data from, I cannot remember that name, but we were able to apply corrections to the wind data sets for being in urban locations, because lots of data sets, a lot of tools that you can use to find out your wind power generation don't account for that. So it's a nice little extra for us. The next stage of the program, again, adding in a few more features from the data sets that we have available. We just didn't have time to do the logics for it. Is for showing carbon savings that are possible, putting in further renewables such as micro hydro and further solar options, making it maybe a bit more granular. We can use the program as a referral to other places, and we think we can link to other relevant sources of information.
Right, so obviously the tool doesn't go in anywhere by itself, but the way we position ourselves, we made a quick business plan. We thought we have 3 basic scenarios we can use. We can either put it out for other companies to use, nice and simple, or we can become our own energy comparison site for renewables. That's it. And I'm going to call up the rest of my team for questions.
Thank you, Team GeekSoc. Do you want to explain what that is on the screen?
Just briefly, this is a visualization of all the code that we did over the 48 hours. So enjoy the pretty laser beams while we answer questions.
Okay. I live in a multiple occupancy flat. So what proportion of the roof is mine?
I'm not sure. I think that would depend on your situation. While it would probably be possible from data sets that we have not yet seen to maybe work that out, it is a tool to say very averagely what would be available there. So you could then say, look, to the people in your building, if you had to gain agreement, we could possibly be gaining this much energy and getting this much reduction on our bills cost. You can enter in the numbers yourself. Why don't we think about it further?
Do your figures take into account the first up costs, installation costs, which is usually, most expensive?
We've looked into finding the information about installation costs, but as we've been saying, we can expand our system to implement that. So we looked into it, but we didn't have time to actually get much of the data imported and to be displayed.
Also, a lot of solar installation specialists and providers don't actually give upfront pricing. They actually want to go out to your house, do some quick consultancy work, and actually figure out what they can install there.
So the number that we were providing was looking at the average cost of solar panels, adding a little bit extra on, and then giving you a value. So with further refinement of the tool, you could add in the average cost of the inverters and more accurately refine the numbers that you can give there. So we just wanted to try and get up a working prototype for it. So it was kind of hard to find actual prices for solar panels as well. So.
Any other questions?
I guess that's quite critical though, because it's answers whether or not it's worthwhile to people to group together to do it.
Well, like we said, one of the ways we see the tool being used is actually as a plugin for maybe solar providers to say, oh yeah, come to our site quickly and enter in your numbers, and then they could modify the tool slightly to take into account their pricing. It wasn't really that we didn't want to do it, it was there wasn't enough time to actually contact solar providers and get the details.
We're almost out of time.
And we've really built a flexible framework which is really extensible to other renewables and accommodates for future changes in the price of, for example, solar panels. So our goal for our 48 hours was to get something up and running and show that it works, and that's what we've done.
Thank you, Team GeekSoc. Team GeekSoc, sorry.